How you doing, everybody? Welcome to my channel. This is You Too Can Be Great. I'm so sorry. I don't look my best. I'm tired. I've been planning a wedding. I'm working, and I'm just tired. It's a lot. It's a lot going on. So I'm sorry that I haven't been doing reviews as often as I used to, but I promise I'm gonna do one today. I'm not doing Real Housewives of Atlanta because that one is boring the hell out of me. I'm gonna try to do the finale because I think there's a finale for the Married at First Sight. I'm gonna do the review for that one. And then I'm gonna do another review that's off topic of actual shows, but something that, I think is important to discuss. So I'm gonna do that. Now, this one is the VH1 Couples Retreat Season 1, Episode 3, Second First Dates, which I think should be called Sidechicks, particularly because of the whole situation with Michael and Rada. And I'll explain what I'm talking about because I'm feeling like I don't even know what to say when they put his ass on the screen to talk. I don't know if he's trying to be funny or if this is who he really is in real life, because in general, he sounds like a complete fucking misogynistic, chauvinistic asshole. Like he just doesn't give a fuck about anybody but himself. And the excuse he's using is complete bullshit. So let's get into it. Now it starts off with them recapping what happened last week, and Ray J still whining about AJ calling him a child and supposedly, in his opinion, talking down to him. The problem with Ray J is, yes, I do believe to a certain extent AJ and Princess do talk down to him when they're mad. At the same time, his behavioral patterns are what you see children do. I have no problem telling my husband, baby, you acting like a damn child. I have no problem telling him that, because sometimes he does behave like a child. And as much as he don't want to hear it, I do see that he changes the behavior. The only thing with Ray J is Ray J hasn't changed the behavior, so he's expecting Princess to alter hers. There has to be a middle ground. But he's over here talking about, just because I look like a child don't mean that I am a child. I'm like, what the hell, Ray J? Just shut up. You ain't making no damn sense. Princess is over there doing what she always does, which is crying. And Miss Mendice's still whining about how he felt when Yandy did not want to send him a few set of emails. I'm thinking, bruh, didn't you put your ass there in the first place to make her a single mom? All of this is your fault. You did not get thrown in jail for a crime you didn't commit. You got thrown in jail for a crime you chose to commit and thought you weren't gonna get caught, and you forced your family for a number of years, not months, years, to be without you and had Yandy doing your job and hers. And now you have the audacity to sit up there whining because your ass didn't get no damn emails. Stop whining. It's your fault you were there. If you weren't there in the first place, the emails wouldn't even be no cause for concern. So shut your ass up. But as they're doing this, Michael's in the corner talking about how he only cares about his junior Blackson because nothing else matters because women talk too much. He thought he would just be here having sex with Rada the whole time, because I told you before, the only thing that Michael sees when he talks to Rada is sex. She's a sex object to him. He doesn't have any respect for her. Then we get to Mendice's and Yandy. Yandy decided to rehash last episode's conversation because she had asked him, if I was in the same position as you, would you hold me down? And Mendice had the audacity to fix his mouth and said, I don't know what I would do. But your ass is sitting up here complaining about emails when she did hold you down for the most part. If the situation was reversed, you don't even know what you would do, bruh. Then Yandy starts basically saying what I'm thinking. She said that when he left, she had to be a single parent. And then on top of that, she went through a huge depression because she went from having her husband home, having her children see their father, to having to drop him off in prison, having to figure out her life, having her baby mama putting their business out there that she didn't really sign the marriage paper, which I thought was smart as hell, because when you sign that marriage paper, his financial burdens become your own. And if y'all don't know, there are some crimes that the state will go after, because the state will go after a parent. If your child is in juvie, there's certain crimes that your parents have to pay the state while your child is in juvie, because they're essentially supporting them, almost like child support to the state. There are some crimes that if you commit and you owe something to the state, that your wife will be responsible for it. So Yandy was smart enough not to sign that marriage paper. Like, I'm not going to be paying something back to this damn state for your ass being in prison when I got 3 kids, 2 kids here or whatever. I think it was 2 or 3 that she was out there trying to take care of. So she went through a state of depression and she wasn't making enough milk. And while she's going through that, your ass is over there in prison with all the time in the world, not contributing to the household, whining about damn emails. And Yandy says to him, to me, I thought it was just petty. And Mendice says, see, I'm done with this, because he doesn't think it's petty. Mendice needs to put himself in her shoes, put himself in his kids' shoes, and not look at him as the only person that was victimized because his choice was to do what he did, to go into prison. I understand Mendice feeling like when I'm there and there's nobody there and I'm in that type of environment, as crazy as prison is, because y'all don't really know it, prison really puts you through a lot, that you want to know that there's somebody out there who loves you and cares for you. At the same time, Do not do stuff that will get your ass locked up in the first place to be in that predicament. You need to stop thinking about yourself and understand that you're the reason all this is happening. You're the reason why she went into depression. And with her having a baby, she could have been having postpartum. She wasn't even making milk to feed your child, and you're over there complaining about fucking emails. Bro, shut your ass up. Now, Rada, we get to Rada, and Rada decides to go and speak to AJ, who's working out. And she wants to talk about their sex situation shit because she's trying to get Michael to do something that Michael doesn't respect her enough to do. And AJ breaks it down to her. The fact is, when you met him, he was fucking you. You were getting, you know, all he cared about was your puss. And you obviously only cared about getting good dick and having your fantasies fulfilled, right? Then you decided that you wanted more of the relationship. The only thing that he could give you was say, here's keys to my house when I'm in town. Because when I'm not in town, there's another girl that has keys to my house. I'm gonna give you the house. I'm gonna let you stay here rent free. I'm gonna take care of you financially. I'm gonna tell you how many times I love you. I'm gonna have you here while I bring other girls into our room whenever I'm with you, just to make sure you understand that I'm not gonna change the person I am just for you, to make sure you know that you're still somebody that I still wanna have sex with other people with. And on top of that, I'm going to have spread my penis to everybody else out there with or without you being present. I'm still going to do that. And basically, he told her that that she explained to Rada, AJ explained to Rada that Michael is feeding her the bullshit that while he's slinging his dick to a whole damn army on Thought Island or whatever the case is, he doesn't feel like it's a bad thing if he's letting her stay in his house, if he's calling her his girlfriend, that should be enough. And she asked Rada a very important question. Rada, what do you want? And then in the confessional, there's something that AJ had talked about her self-esteem. Rada says that Michael brings excitement to her life. I said, bitch, your ass can go to the damn movies for excitement. She says that, you know, she wants to build a relationship because she's not falling in love with him, but you're the only one that fell in love. Michael does not want to give you what you want. At this point in time, you're only staying with him because you either think you can change him, one, or because you have low self-esteem. Why you have a low self-esteem, I don't know, because your ass is with Michael. At this point, the only thing left is, you know, is up. You can only go up from there, so might as well just go ahead and just leave him and find somebody else. Now we have the girls sit down with AJ, and because they want to have this little girl talk, Delicious lets us know that her and her man had sex at the Gucci store because she wanted to make sure that he understood that sex image that she puts out is just who she is, and she wanted to do something spontaneous. And they were at the store and she was going to get it in, but since they got married, that type of stuff doesn't happen anymore. I said, well, I don't think he wants to be having sex in Gucci stores. The man is 40 something years old. One time is cool, all the time I don't think it's cool. In her mind, she just wants to get bent over. She wants him to take charge. She wants him to, you know, be the one to take the lead. If a girl or the guy is the one initiating sex all the time, they're gonna feel like the person don't desire them. I know that my husband has told me that when I get busy and I was in school and I'm working all the time, he's the one initiating sex and I'm the one saying no, then he feels some type of way and he kind of gets mad and be like, wait, I don't even want to try anymore. So I have to always have in the back of my mind that I don't want him to feel like I don't desire him. So I have to always, at times, be the one to initiate to make sure that he knows I still want him. Other times, with her saying that she wants him to be a man, he just basically like, baby, I just want this ass. And I'd be like, baby, I can't. He'd be like, shut your ass up and take this thing. I'd be like, okay, fine. Which position you want? That's basically how it works with he and I. But I do know that sometimes he does say that he doesn't want it to be a situation where he's the only one initiating. In this case, Delicious is the one initiating and he's the one, you know, either he's tired sometimes maybe, or maybe he just doesn't want to. Because he's getting older, he might need some Viagra. I don't know. Then we have the boys sitting down with Dr. Kawakami to drink and to talk. And freaking Michael goes in the confessional. It says that Kawakami looks like every light-skinned singer that retired trying to give him advice about not being a hoe. I'm like, Michael, you're the last person to talk about somebody looking like some type of way, because we still trying to figure out what your ass look like. Now we have Mendici saying stuff that, now, mind you, I'm only talking about Michael like this because I don't like the way that he's treating Rada, because I think that he's fully aware of the manipulative aspect of what he's doing to her. Knowing that she's not able to have this type of relationship that you want, and she wants you to give her more, and if you saying that you're not able to give her more, if she's not strong enough to walk away, I think as a man, you should let her go so she can go through the heartbreak, go through the breakup, and she can move on. But you're keeping her around to tolerate your bullshit. So I'm gonna keep talking shit. Some people are not strong enough. And I feel like when you know that person is strong enough and you still take advantage, you're the piece of shit. Now, Mendici says something like, I thought that being the provider and the protector means that I don't have to be chivalrous anymore. That's practically what he says. And I'm thinking some of these guys are just too dumb. Then Kirk says something like him and Rashida are together all the time doing business. So romance is out the window. So maybe he's been looking at his relationship like a business. I said that last review. You are looking at your relationship like it's a business. I've said that. And you're giving your dick out to everybody else like Jasmine at the club. Meanwhile, you go home and plan business with your wife. Then we have Raymond says that he has a problem with dominating because he's with a dominant woman. And I said, Raymond, you need to go ahead and find your bass in your voice. Grab your manhood and tell Delicious when she tries to cut you off to shut the hell up and let you just sit, be quiet and take this dick and just tell her, hush up, put her in the position you want her to, she'll do it. But when she tries to cut you off, man, just, you've been to prison. I hate to say it, but you need to go ahead and, get that side of you that's dominant and take care of yourself. Then Michael says something like his mom took him away because he's from Africa, and I know that. The African system is not as legit as a lot of advanced countries. I do know that they do tend to lose a lot of paperwork sometimes. People change their name all the time. People, come up with fake marriage certificates all the time, shit like that. So Michael says stuff like his mom took him and all his 6 siblings away from the dad for whatever reason. She felt like she had to run away. And when she did, she changed her name. She didn't want him to find her at all. So when his father died, he didn't feel nothing. He now says that because he didn't feel some type of love or that kind of love, maybe from her or from his dad, that he doesn't know how to love somebody else. I think that there's 2 sides to that. Yes, that could be a cause for concern. That could be the reason why you're behaving the way that you're behaving, but there's another line to it. The fact that you recognize that that's the issue, you could easily go see a counselor, work through it, and learn how to respect women. Your decision to use that as an excuse to consistently disrespect your girl by having different girls not only in the room, but disrespecting her because you keep having sex with the same girl, so that person is catching feelings and you got 2 girls fighting over you. Maybe that helps you with your self-esteem. I don't know. But because you know the problem, you have the ability and the finances to get us to fix it or get a solution out of it. Instead, you're choosing to now give me that as an excuse, but you're not fixing it. You're proud of who you are, an asshole. So I can't really use that as an excuse or give you that and be like, oh, that's probably why he's behaving like a piece of shit to her, even though she wants love and she wants commitment. He's straggling her along and wasting her youth. Yeah, because his mom took him away from his dad, and no, I can't do that. You're old enough to fix your issue. So I can't give you that. Then he says something like, I guess the dudes are talking to him about his side chick. And he says something like, they've all had side chicks. He just chose to keep his own. And I'm thinking, is Rada the side chick? One of the ones you chose to keep? Because Rada was a side chick because they were friends with benefits. And she tried to get into the relationship field because he got used to having sex with Rada and he learned that her personality is something that he feels like he could deal with. And she accepted his supposed lifestyle because of the contract. He's feeling like, I could just keep her and do whatever I want to do and she could be at home cooking for me and doing all the wifely duties. Right? I'm paying for it, right? So I can still go out and do whatever. So Rada's the one who's stupid enough to deal with it. So let me just keep this side chick and still have the other ones out there. That's so crazy to me that he could just say that. And it's, it is what it is. Then we get Princess and Ray J because they missed the Ring of Fire. AJ decides that maybe it's going to be better for Princess and Ray J to talk to her isolated from everybody else. She goes to talk to Princess and she acknowledges that there has been mutual disrespect between Princess and Ray J whenever they have an altercation, right? Princess needs to stop going to social media. She needs to stop being condescending. When she talks to him, she needs to stop bringing him down. On the other side, Ray J needs to be a man and do what men are supposed to be. There shouldn't be a reason for your wife to be waking up alone consistently, you not being home at night. If you want to be treated like a man, an adult who's married with 2 kids, you got to act like one. I don't remember. I maybe have one out of the entire time, maybe one time I remember where my husband is not in my bed and he had fallen asleep because he was out late falling asleep at the car. He parked at the gas station and took a nap because he couldn't drive and he didn't text me. So I thought he was out there doing something. I was ready to file for divorce. It wasn't a good move on my part because I know my emotion had me, but the fact that your ass is not in my bed, we have a problem because I don't know where you're at. Now, once I realized that he was alive, I didn't know whether I wanted him to be dead because I wanted to be the one to end him because of what he put me through. So I just freaked out and lost it. And at first he was like, okay. But then he realized how serious I was and he came to explain himself to me. There is no reason why you should not be in my bed at night. You should be the last person I see and the first person I wake up to. You're my husband. I need to feel safe in my environment. You're also there to be a protector. I can't beat up. If 5 dudes or 2 dudes come walking up in my house, I'm gonna need somebody here to help me whoop their ass. I hope they said their prayers in front of my house. They're about to go meet Jesus. But I'm just saying, it helps for you to be here so I feel safe. I don't wanna be just sitting up here middle of the night, waking up and wondering what the noises are. Is there a ghost in my house? Like, it's not cool. And Princess saying that's one of the issues that Ray J has. You're not in the bed. Well, whose bed are you in then? Is what I'm gonna be thinking. I can understand her disrespecting him because you're disrespecting her in an ultimate way. Y'all are married. You should be in her bed. And then Ray J says stuff like, he joins the conversation coming in. He's already defensive, but he does start off with an apology, which I think helps. He apologized to AJ. Then he says like he feels like the communication can be fixed in one day. No, ma'am. Ray J, I need you need to reassess that. You reassess that comment. Your communication problems that y'all have cannot be fixed in one day. They did admit, both of them, that they do not want a divorce. They do want to make it work, and that was progress. Because they both said that's the first time they've heard each other say that they really don't want to leave each other. They love each other. They just are sick of what each other is doing. Just listen to each other for once. Do what you say what you mean, and mean what you say. Do it. Work together. Then they go on their first date. They were supposed to be reenacting their first date. They're supposed to discuss how they felt when they first met. And as they're reacting their first date, Delicious is taking over everything when he's trying to do what he's trying to do. He's trying to say, let's go to the room, watch a movie, do this. And Delicious just wanted him to say sex, because they're still supposed to be in the honeymoon phase. And then she just wants him to go in there raw doggy her, Michael and Rada, their relationship is just a hot ass mess. I'm just like, girl, run. Because he said that he wants to have, I'm thinking Michael wants to have threesomes all the time with Rada, himself, and Herpes. Herpes is her name. That's who he wants to be in the bed with him all the damn time. Hell, I could even say it in French, herpes. I don't know, or herpes, whatever you want to hear. He just wants some kind of disease to be in bed with him because he doesn't want Rada by herself. Or maybe he doesn't want Rada to have the illusion that she's going to be the only one he's going to be with, so he consistently has somebody in the bed all the time. I think that Michael is fighting respecting Rada. I think he's fighting it because something inside of him don't want to be kept down. I feel like, or don't want to be kept. I feel like he's fighting it on purpose. It's not something he has to do. He's just fighting it, the conventional lifestyle. Then we have Rada explain to him that because he was repeatedly sleeping with a side chick who caught feelings, that girl insulted him. Well, girl, you opened the door. You were the side chick too at one point. He's still referring to her, the side chick he kept. Then Michael says something in the confessional that he needs the side chick in order to appreciate her. And she also needs the side chick for him to appreciate her. And I'm just like, how do you respond to something like that? I didn't even know if he was being funny. I don't know how to respond to somebody like Michael. Because Michael is the type of gaslighting narcissist that you feel like tests your intelligence. I low-key feel like Michael has a low self-esteem. And once he touched money, then he started getting the females. And now that he's starting to get to females, he's disrespecting them left and right. Because I can imagine that when Michael was a kid, a lot of pretty girls that he may have wanted to date were making fun of him and probably calling him ugly or whatever the case is. So now that he has touched money and he's getting some of the pretty girls, he's now disrespecting them. Since I couldn't get you when I was a kid, or I can get you growing up, and because I saw all the stuff that y'all was saying. Because I went through the whole phase where people were telling me I was ugly because I was dark-skinned. I was the ugly duckling in the group. I had light-skinned black people telling me that I could never be pretty. I had dark-skinned black people telling me I need to go back to the motherland because I'm too dark to be here. I had another dark-skinned person telling me that I couldn't possibly be dateable because I may have AIDS. So I went through that, but I just didn't grow up with that type of hate in my heart for men and for girls. I didn't grow up that way. I kind of chucked it up as in, now that I see those same boys, they always hit on me, but you lost your chance. You couldn't stay with me back then. You don't deserve me now. But I'm not going to mistreat my husband for what other people did when they were immature and stupid and going with what social media and the internet are telling them is the idea of beauty. Michael, I feel like, was made fun of to that extent of where they told him he was ugly. He probably looked like this and that, whatever the case is. Now that he has money, money attracts beauty. Y'all seen all these celebrities and I'm wondering how the hell they got this person. It's because they have money. And now that he has all these beautiful ass girls coming to him, he's now mistreating them to get promise paying back for all the other girls. Rada will consistently be the person that he may not have been able to get years ago when he had nothing. Now that he has something, he has her, he's disrespecting her and trying to convince her that he's giving her everything he can give her and that she should just be okay with it. And she's trying to fight it, but he's basically making it seem like she's, that those side chicks in their room are a good thing for her. Like, you should be happy I have side chicks and other women in our bed because it helps me appreciate you more. How does you slinging your penis into a bunch of strangers you ain't never met, when they're not putting as much effort in taking care of you as I am, supposed to help you appreciate me? That is so stupid. But she's sitting up here and as he's saying this, I'm thinking, Rada, I hope your ass is watching the confessionals in the future because I'm looking at you and you're right. He does make you look like a fool because I'm looking at you like you do look like a fool. Like you're the other side chick. You're not in a relationship with him. You're in a relationship with him and Thought Island. You're in a relationship with him and every girl on that island. You're not special just because he gave you a key, because he gives several women that key to his place, whether you're there or not. He still does it. You just get to stay and for breakfast. He lets them go. Maybe some of them even sleep in because one of them caught feelings. Like, girl, Michael is not fixable because he's not ready to be fixed. And I think that this couple's thing is just a waste of time for me and for you. So I don't even know what to say about him. I'm just flabbergasted as the shit that was coming out his mouth in this episode. I wanted to reach to the screen and beat his ass just for her. It was just disrespectful. What you guys think about the show? Bye.